Hello and welcome to today's video where I'm going to talk about the IBTC aUSD exploit which happened earlier today, depending on where you live. Of course, it happened very early morning UTC time. I think it was like 3 a.m. or so, and it was basically an issue with this specific pool. When it got deployed, one of the bad actors, let's say not necessarily a hacker, but maybe a bad actor who found this exploit and decided to take that opportunity and take advantage of it, managed to mint a lot of aUSD. Apparently it's like $1 billion worth of aUSD, which he managed to transfer to his wallet, but then he got frozen thanks to the team taking quick action as soon as they basically found out about it. I'm sure they probably had alerts and stuff. So we'll talk about this today. Before we'll talk about exactly what happened, just to see how it's been impacting the actual market on the Acala dApp. It didn't impact the market overall, but it did impact the Acala dApp. So if we actually look at LC dot, for example, let's go to LC dot and let's go to dot. So for each one dot, you actually get 2.5 LC dot at the moment. So just imagine the difference here, okay? And again, the chain has been halted, so you cannot do any of these transfers or swaps, just so you know. So don't even try it because it just doesn't work. Okay, it is halted until they'll fix it, because they have identified the problem, and I'll talk about that in the video now. But I just wanted to show you this quickly. I'm sure there's going to be people that are going to be eyeing this, and as soon as the team are going to say the chain is back online, I'm sure people are going to ride over this swap here, because this is the huge opportunity of 2.5x with LC dot, considering that I think the difference was like 20 to 30% lower than the original dot. And so remember, LC dot can be swapped for dot when the Acala lease expires on Polkadot, and that's going to be interesting to see how people are going to ride this opportunity and how many will actually make it, because there's going to be a lot of transactions here, I can imagine. So let's talk about the issue here. So as I've explained, now the Acala team are saying that they've identified the issue as a misconfiguration of the IBTC aUSD liquidity pool, which went live earlier today. That resulted in error mints of a significant amount of aUSD. The misconfiguration has since been rectified, and wallet addresses that received the USD have been identified with on-chain activity tracing in respect of these addresses underway. Based on preliminary on-chain tracing, 99% of the erroneously minted aUSD remain on Acala parachain, with a small proportion of erroneously minted aUSD being swapped for ACA and other tokens on Acala parachain, pending Acala community collective governance decision on resolution of the error minting. These erroneously minted aUSD remain on Acala parachain, along with these swapped Acala parachain native tokens have been transfer disabled. If you are a white hat recipient of these minted aUSD by accident, or swap token from these aUSD that are not on Acala, please transfer them to the addresses below on Polkadot or on Moonbeam. And if you are a white hat holder recipient of the ACA obtained from the swap of the minted aUSD, please transfer them to the following address. Meanwhile, functions including swap, XCM, Hans unrelated, etc. on Acala have been paused via urgent governance votes until further notice. The Oracle palette has also been paused so that users do not need to concern liquidations in between time. Next up, they'll continue on-chain activity trace and share the results with the community to facilitate formulation of community proposal and decision making to resolve the error mint of aUSD and restore the aUSD peg. Thanks for your patience and support. We'll update as we progress. So this is going to be interesting, because at the moment, I mean, yeah, we're not going to take a look at this because I'm not going to talk about prices in today's video, but aUSD did drop to 5 cents on KuCoin, which is absolutely insane if you think about it. I mean, it lasted for like 10 minutes or so, and then it just continued to push its way up, making its way to about 40 or 50 cents before getting to about 70, stabilizing around there, and now it's trading at around 85 cents on KuCoin. So I'm sure the team are gonna bring the peg back, they're gonna restore it. I'm not worried about that, but the question is what's gonna happen in terms of the governance. How long do we need to wait for that governance vote, etc., right? People are getting impatient because the chain is halted at the moment, so obviously there are no rewards at the moment. Will they be backtracking those rewards? I don't know. I'm assuming they're going to do something to make people happy again. But has this affected Acala's reputation in some way? Absolutely. I mean, people are not going to be happy with this. I'm sure there's going to be a reputation hit here, but I'm sure everyone's going to forget about this in a few months' time. I mean, they'll still remember it, but it's not going to be a big deal anymore as long as the team recover this and limiting the losses, because I'm sure there are people that have sold at a loss, unfortunately, because they've panicked, because they thought this is going to be the next Luna, the next USD. And you know, until you know what the problem is, people panic. It's typical, it's normal, it's the human nature. So, and there are people who are taking advantage of opportunities like these and placing those low orders, trying to get in cheap and riding that wave. So there will always be both types of people. So yeah, just wanted to cover this this article because I thought it's interesting. I'm gonna keep track on see what's going on. I'm gonna cover it on Twitter as well throughout the day if I see any updates. Maybe tomorrow if I don't see anything today, but I'm sure the team are gonna update us today because they're likely working on this right now. But it is unfortunate, but it is what it is. What can you do, right? At the end of the day, the important thing is that they solved the problem and everyone is happy and the chain is operational. That's been it from today's video. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video. Bye-bye.